Right. I think the tech is working.
The start of all of our lives. Hello, welcome back to the College of Functional Wellness Open Day, and it's the last talk, it's the last interview.
It's good feeling, isn't it? It's good feeling, and then to go, oh, it's you!
A work wife.
All these people, and it's you.
Had a lovely time with all these people, and then it's you. Oh, it's great because I've been telling you all about it all day.
Oh, marvellous. I'm really pleased you've had a good day. It is really good fun. I'm looking forward to seeing them.
Fun. And I've learned so much, and it's been so fantastic. And I've also learned how fabulous we are.
Oh, you learned that?
My favourite thing to learn. So, and you watched a bit on Facebook, didn't you?
Yes, I was watching the After 9. I had the same question. I was like, why is she called After 9? Is it because it's after 9 in the morning, or is it after 9 at night? But no, it's after 9 months. Anyway. But yeah, no, I did watch it.
Oh, good. Yeah, wonderful. Just wonderful. We've had such interesting people over the 2 days, haven't we? Just so varied and so interested. And for me, and I know it's something that you and I talked a bit about after yours, for me, it's this feeling of how many of us there are working to make such change in the world, and so passionate, and just wanting to help people. And it just gives me, we've had a really crappy 18 months globally, but it just gives me so much hope that there are so many of us who are out there, just making it happen. And when I see the people that you've spoken to and the people that I've spoken to, everyone is kick-ass. Like we are, and it's going to change. The world is going to change. People are going to be more empowered and more educated because there are so many phenomenal people working on it. But we want to help that even more, don't we? We want an army of incredible practitioners.
Yes, we do.
I can't think of a more feminine word for army. I can't think of a coven. No,
right.
No, I can't think of one. Like just an army.
It needs to be more like proactive than a tribe. It needs to be more forward.
Right. And less witchy and more sort of, practitioner-y. And I can't think of one, but an army. I'm going to come up with an army. An army of goddesses. And men, I don't know, an army of practitioners who are really well trained, who know how to deal with all of the stuff that is coming at us, long COVID, the gorgeous Emily talking about all the stuff in corporate, the mental health issues, the physical issues, menopause, everything coming at us right now. We need practitioners who feel confident, who feel absolutely supported, and who have knowledge that they can lean into. That is our vision, mission, and purpose, isn't it? Every single day.
Yeah. And that was like, we have both been through so many different types of practitioner training, and along the way we have, because we've done a lot of them together, we've had that conversation together where we've gone, well, that bit was a bit rubbish, or that really worked. And we've just really, when we started to design our course, we really wanted it to be clear and easy to learn, and we knew that part of our skill set was taking complicated science and making it understandable. Because I was doing some videos today on kinesiology and muscle testing and 5 elements, and it is, we do, the way it's communicated, it's very simple to understand. It's so interesting as well, and we're still so interested in it, and so to teach it and deliver it, it's what we wanted in our training. We wanted, and we're about to go through an exam with our practitioners at the moment, and I feel so confident that they're going to nail it, because the process that they've been through with learning and the layering of all the different hormones on top of each other to get this full picture of what is going on in the body,
and then simplified so much for the delivery of the actual therapy itself. So let's just have a little conversation first. So what we're going to do in this presentation is we are going to basically peek behind the curtains and show you what it's like to do training with us. So we are going to show you through, I've got a stack of props actually. We're going to talk you through what the manuals look like. We're going to show you what the online portals look like. We're going to give you a real feeling of what it's like to do training with us. And we're going to talk at the end about the exam process. But let's just talk through what courses we offer, because I know you've talked a lot about the kinesiology training, and I've talked a lot about it too. Now, the kinesiology training, we talk about that being the pinnacle of the training that we do, because it's basically everything in one go. It's absolutely everything. And it means that you can be in clinic, in clinical practice, face-to-face, one-to-one with clients, doing, an actual treatment, body work, those things, working with nutrition, working with emotions, working with structure, working with the electrical systems of the body, using batch flower MDs, using nutritional supplementation, and all this incredible emotional coaching. It's phenomenal. So that kind of incorporates everything. But then we also have our functional wellness coaching training, which is all of this knowledge, which is included in the kinesiology training, all of the knowledge on the hormones, our 5 hormone areas: blood sugars, stress, the sex hormones, immune and digestion, all of it, but broken down in a way that you could be in person, but basically more like it's coaching. That's why we call it the wellness coaching course. Rather than actual treatment and body work. So this would be perfect if you are a PT, if you already do some body work, if you are just interested in acting more like a nutritionist. Now, both of those courses at the end include lab testing, which you did a lovely talk with the wonderful Dr. Shania Lee around. So we can really get into the nitty gritty. They both involve the nutrition. And they're really for people who are interested in that physical wellness and coaching people to get better. One more about therapy, one more about coaching.
I would also add with the functional wellness, so we have a number of kinesiologists who discover our work and then go, oh my God, it's the missing piece of the puzzle. This functional nutrition, this very up-to-date approach to health, combined with the kinesiology. Oh my God, I've been looking for you. But they don't want to study another kinesiology diploma. So we have the option that those kinesiology professionals, they can join the functional wellness training, and there is a kinesiology bolt-on option for them. And so that training can be done from the comfort of your own home. You don't need to attend a classroom. The kinesiology training you do, but the functional wellness training can all be done from your sofa.
And we get a lot of people, don't we? So actually people like the wonderful Thelma that I've just interviewed, people who are physiotherapists, pelvic health coaches, who want this upgraded information but don't want to be kinesiologists. So it's perfect for people who just want all this information but don't want the kinesiology. However, if you do want to be a kinesiologist, it's an awesome career and we love it. Then we also have our emotional coach training, which the wonderful Emily was waxing lyrical about earlier, because that is absolutely life-changing, game-changing, career-changing. And that's our holding space practitioner training course. And that is basically, the structure of that is there's an online portal with a load of lessons as well, which we're going to show you shortly. But it is 6 days of this immersive work where you go through a journey and clearing your stuff, learning how to process so that you can do the same with your clients. You can teach them, rather than just being an NLP practitioner or a hypnotist, which is, an EFT, which is, okay, well, I'm going to do this treatment to you now. We're giving people the tools to be able to support themselves and to parent themselves through any situation, to hold themselves fast, hold fast, tweak hard through any situation. And it's just glorious. And then after the 6-day intensive, there is then 9 months of mentoring where you get to work with a mentor to go through, your case studies, your own issues, and basically you end up with this qualification at the end. So this was, a lot of people wanted to do emotional coaching or emotional training, and something like EFT or NLP just wasn't quite cutting the mustard. And something like a counseling diploma is 3 years, and talk therapy can be great, and there's certainly aspects of that in our work, and we pull on a lot of counseling, but you need tools and techniques. You've got to get to the nitty gritty to be able to clear this stuff, clear the baggage, and move forward in your life. So we're incredibly passionate about those 3 practitioner training courses. All 3 of them are accredited with the Federation of Holistic Therapists. The kinesiology is also accredited with the Kinesiology Federation. They're all in line with the National Occupational Standards, and both of those governing bodies are CNHC registered. So these are government guideline recommendations, and you were finding out that our diplomas are level 3 equivalent. So this is like full on accredited practitioner training, and we could not be more proud of it.
Exactly. So we have our practitioner training, so the 3, the functional wellness, the functional kinesiology, and the holding space. And we also have our foundation training.
You talk about those bits.
So we'll start with the kinesiology. We have a foundation kinesiology training, which is 5 weekends. And at the core of the foundation kinesiology is learning how to muscle test, learning this organ meridian muscle connection, which still, after 15 years of doing this, still blows my noodle, that there are muscles that are connected into organs, and you can actually have a conversation with the body to find out what is going on. And that is taught in our foundation training. The other big thing in foundation kinesiology is food sensitivity testing, which is at the heart of a lot of what we do. I mean, we take it to the next level in the practitioner training, but it is there from the beginning. And we bring in the traditional Chinese medicine way of working, this real understanding. We use the 5-element model. It's real understanding. It's a very holistic way of working, because it's not just looking at symptoms and organs, it's also looking at sounds and colors and tastes and seasons and times of year and temperatures, and it's a truly holistic way of looking at the body, which is really, it's such a glorious rabbit hole to go down. So that's our foundation training. We run 2 a year,
which is not just for kinesiologists. This is because of these muscles. It's incredibly powerful training for people like PTs or physiotherapists, because when you've got someone with like knee pain and you're telling them to do quad strengthening exercises, but then you find out that, you know, their quads are literally not switching on properly, because underneath that they've got issues in their small intestine, they've got irritable bowel syndrome. Well, now we're not just focusing on the quads, we can look more holistically. So that's the power, the true power of the foundation training. Is it has so many applications. Yeah,
absolutely. And so it's something you can do as a standalone, absolutely. And it is also the beginning of the kinesiology journey that unfolds with the practitioner training. We also have our core subjects. So this was born out of wanting to offer students the full pathway into becoming a professional kinesiologist. And we work with the Kinesiology Federation, and they require that there are 4 core subjects. There's an anatomy and physiology, which we have, we work with a third supplier, very credited third supplier, to offer the anatomy and physiology. But the other 3 we now offer. So we offer foundation coaching. We offer the business marketing mastery, which is how to run a therapy, a health business, because it's very common that we fall in love with a therapy or we want to help people, but we don't know how to run a business. We don't know how to market ourselves. We don't know how to sell ourselves. So that course is all about, okay, let's get you into a thriving business. It's exactly coming back to what you said at the beginning. We want the tribal army.
Army tribe.
Out there doing it. And the only way they're going to do it is by having successful businesses. So that is what that course is absolutely designed to do.
And not just the like again, these core subjects, the nutrition, you're about to talk about that. The coaching is, again, for anyone who just wants to learn some better interpersonal skills. The business marketing mastery is for anyone in a therapeutic business who just wants to learn some basics. I mean, Laura and I used to be in the corporate world. You were the global brand manager for TechLT, like our business acumen is brilliant, and we have literally emptied our brains and our hearts into these courses, like,
which is great, because I don't want to go through menopause and forget it all. At least it's out there in the world. It's all out. So, and then the final course is our nutrition course. And this, when COVID hit, you and I sat down and we went, right, let's write this beast. And we sat down and we brainstormed all of the things that we had in our heads that we wish we had known when we started our careers 10, 15 years ago about nutrition, all the latest science, all of the latest research, and covering all the subjects from macronutrients to micronutrients to diet plans. I think there's over 20 diet plans that we cover, and we do some myth busting. So that diet actually has no scientific backing behind it and no proof that it actually does anything. And so we go into all of that detail, and we also talk about what is the problem with wheat, what is the problem with dairy, what is the problem with sugar, so that you understand, if you want a foundation understanding of nutrition, about why these foods are affecting us and what is the nutrition industry all about, then this course is for you. And it's also to give that foundation to our practitioners who are doing our practitioner training, so that they've got that key knowledge in place.
And we have so many people who have now gone through this course or are going through this course, and many of them just because they're interested in nutrition, like, absolutely. Back in the day, before I even became a kinesiologist, you and I were starting to become course junkies and go into this course or that course. This is the kind of course that I would have absolutely inhaled and adored, because yes, it is a foundation course for people to do something else, but it's just as a standalone, so empowering, so glorious, and so easy to get through. And so we're going to show you what they look like. We also have a load of lectures online, and there's just so much that we have created. We've been very busy. I need lockdown to get over our lockdown.
we just splurged it all. Like you said, it just came from our hearts. And so the foundation trainings will give you the basics, but they will also, the nutrition course will allow you to make nutritional recommendations and dietary recommendations. The foundation coaching will enable you to hold a coaching session with someone and feel confident about what questions to ask and how to run that. And then the business course is going to give you the tools of what's a financial, how do I put my financial planning together? What's my marketing plan going to look like? What's my business plan? So it's really practical. And then we've got our practitioner training, which are our diplomas and also holding space. And one of the pieces of research we did is this understanding that a diploma has the theory but is incredibly practical. It's designed to have tools and techniques to be practical. This is why it's not a degree, because there is that practical element to our training, because we want people in clinics seeing people feeling confident about offering this information.
Well, it's like back in the day where we used to have polytechnics offering higher national diplomas. That is literally what, these diplomas are. So let's just, to be clear, the kinesiology practitioner course actually includes everything. Our kinesiology registered professional course includes all of that. The coaching, the nutrition, the business mastery, the AMP. It also includes introduction to batch flour remedies. It includes the practitioner course, and it includes one of the modules is this holding space. So it includes holding space in it. So it's amazing.
It's over 500 hours of training.
It's incredible. But you've got years to do it in, so it's okay. There is no panic, and it's beautifully spaced out. But you get,
and a lot of it is online, delivered through the joy that is our teaching platform. So there is this, we did design this. We recognize, this is what we did. We changed careers, and so I retrained while I had a job, and so we've designed the training so that it is something that can be done at home in the evenings. It's something that can be done at weekends, so that someone who is thinking about changing their career doesn't need to quit their job and their safety and security of finance to be able to do this training.
It's your side hustle, which is exactly what I was talking about with Sally earlier, which is wonderful. So we're going to give you a little bit of we're going to show you the online platform. But before we do, so the wellness coaching course is entirely online. Kinesiology is once a month in-person training. And we have some beautiful, I've written on mine, so they don't look as pretty now, but because they're work in progress with it. But our manuals are, let me see if I can find a really fabulous page. Our manuals are full color, absolutely stunningly beautiful. We're so proud of them because we both love a bit of branding and we both like making things look really pretty, and we work with a really incredible designer who just absolutely gets what we're trying to do. Aren't they beautiful? And
don't we love a triangle?
Don't we love a triangle? Because
we put it in our logo. We just love a triangle.
Love a triangle. What we haven't actually talked about is the fact that, you know, this stemmed from original material. This is original research material. The Triangle of Hormonal Health is our copywritten original material. The hormone, the bowel hormone storm that we talk about is our copywritten original material that you will not get anywhere else. It's so beautiful and so exciting. And even in holding space, the emotional substructures is original material. So we have a manual for holding space and for kinesiology practitioner. Then these are about to change because so much of it has gone online, but we also have, it will be a case study book. So when you're doing your case studies, and there's also space for you to do a little bit of sort of brain dumping in here, you actually have everything. If I can find one, you actually have everything. Why can't I find one when I want one? It's always the way, isn't it? You have these amazing case study forms, and they're all in one place, so you don't have to have scrappy pieces of paper. Your consent forms are in there, your client health history forms are all in there. We have literally thought about everything, and they are all in there, and as always beautifully designed. The other thing you get as part of the cost is a fantastic cheat sheet that we have created, which basically comes from the fact that I am menopausal and can't remember anything anymore, and everything's fallen out of my head. And you know, when I'm doing my treatments, there are things that, you know, you want to have really quick references to. So what you're about to see when Laura shows you our software platform is there's two bits of knowledge. There is what we call the clinic Bible. So this is what's in the manual. It's basically only the stuff that you are going to need when you're with a client, those things to reference, the diagrams to show people, but the stuff you're going to need there and then. Any of the underpinning knowledge is actually for you, will have lifetime access to it. It's on the software, it's available, and also beautifully designed. But there's two portals of information basically saying that everything in here is also online. So it's, you know, if you lost, it's not the end of the world. Then the other thing that you get is, because one of the parts of the practitioner training course is, I feel like I'm doing a body shop party. Now let me show you. I used to do so many.
Dewberry. I'll have some Dewberry, please.
Some Dewberry. And the body glitter. I used to love that. I used to tell a great
1993.
That was my side hustle back in the day. Anyway, so the other thing is, because part of our training is with the emotional work is to use batch flower remedies. We have got the Introduction to Batch Flower Remedies course as part of the training, so that you are able to use them, but you actually get your own batch flower remedy kits. So they actually don't come in the box, but they come in other boxes. So you get all the batch flower remedies as part of that. But the bit that we're probably the most excited about, actually I'm excited about all of it, but the bit we're most excited about, historically, so we work with, and most colleges work with, a variety of nutritional suppliers. Now, back in the day, we used to have to get a kit from each supplier, and colleges that only give you a kit from one company are not being very unbiased. They are, you know, it's like everything comes from this one, and it doesn't work like that. Bodies need different things and they come from different suppliers. So back in the day, we used to have like 3 or 4 kits, didn't we? And that was really overwhelming because they weren't necessarily targeted nutrition, or it was 3 different types of this, and we didn't need that, and it became very overwhelming. This was our experience. So we created, again, unique to the College of Functional Wellness, our own test kits, which have the different colors are all the different suppliers, but this is the nutrition that we use on the course, nothing extraneous. And then it gets even better because we have a nutrition test kit. So this is all the foods that we're going to be recommending on the course that you test for people. And because some of the body work requires some manipulation and you need to get your hands on skin, although currently with gloves, but hopefully soon not, once everyone, you know, this pandemic has passed. So you actually have your own little pot of massage wax. And then the bit that I love the most, so much love has gone into this, I cannot even tell you, I can't tell you, is that every single bit of nutrition, so you remember the nutrition pots had colors, there is color-coded charts. That means that if you are just, as a student, you don't know what all this nutrition does. So you go, oh, what's this one? Oh, it's red raspberry. I don't know what that is. Oh, it says here, it's blood sugar regulation. Oh, it's TMJ support. Oh, it's PMS relief, cramping relief, strengthens the uterus, contributes to thyroid health, collagen production, assists with protein and amino acid digestion. It's an antioxidant, reduces inflammation. It's all there for you. Honestly, we have thought about this. We have, with these courses, we have solved every problem we ever had as practitioners, haven't we?
Yeah, that's the idea.
That is the idea. So you get all of these bits as part of the course, the kinesiology course. And now Laura is going to show you the online portal.
Right.
Oh, you also get chiropractic blocks, but I don't have any of those.
Okay, right, I'm going to share my screen. Am I going to share my screen? Okay, so this is our online training portal, and the part I'm going to show you is for the Functional Kinesiology Practitioner course. So you will get your login, and what is so marvelous about this, 240 lessons to be taken bit by bit through the months as you do your training. And what is so glorious about this is that everything that you learn in the classroom is repeated here. So we understood from our own training, and particularly because kinesiology involves a lot, we have a lot of tools at our disposal, but the way to learn is repetition. So we wanted to give our students the opportunity to watch lessons again and again and again to let them land. We also understand from our teacher training that people learn in different ways. So some people are visual, some people are kinesthetic, some people are auditory. And so we have designed training so that it enables all different types of learners to learn effectively. So introduction, how the course works, and each lesson. So let's go into welcome to Functional Kinesiology. I think it's a video of you and I gazing at each other.
Oh, lovingly.
Oh, we're very excited because that was the beginning of the course and we were like, look what we've made.
For 21 years we've been gazing at each other lovingly.
And so with each lesson,
how short your hair is there.
I know, look, this is my COVID hair. This is my haven't seen a hairdresser in 2 years. And also that is my haven't seen a hairdryer in 2 years. So each lesson you will have you'll have a handout that you can download, and then you also get the written piece, you get the video, and then you mark it as complete and you move on. So we mark it as complete. And then we can go over to the next category. So this is the pathology of ill health. And you can see that in this essential theory for the introduction, we're starting to talk about things like the triangle of hormonal health, the 4-phase approach, which is absolutely core of what we teach, the stages of treatment, which is those 3 things, those unique pieces of work are just such a joy to teach because they give such structure to seeing a client. And we talk about supplements, we talk about referring on, what we can do, what we can't do. And then we have with each of them, so you watch the videos, you take your notes, you can go to, at the end of each module, you'll have a quiz. A lovely click this button. And what's great about this is we can see your progress. So I wonder if this is going to work. So what is the order of pathology of health? So you can go back to the lessons and refresh if you don't know the answers. It's not a trying to examine you, but it's trying to impart that wisdom into your head and get that knowledge embedded in. So then we go to the category. So that is the introduction. Holding space is just such a beautiful beast. So that we've got the self-parenting, we go into things like drama triangle, the Maslow hierarchy of needs. So these are all our different models, the hero's journey, there's videos on all of this, working with children, the growth zone, chair work, how we do it in clinic, so you can see that, how to do anger and shadow work. Then we've got our kinesiology techniques. So a holding space practitioner will get all of this personal work, and they'll get all the underpinning knowledge, and they get all the essential theory. It's the kinesiologists who get the kinesiology techniques. Coming back to categories. But you can see introduction, holding space, then we go into blood sugars. Quick look at blood sugars. So this is blood sugars is very dietary, because we really go into the macronutrients, we really go into the different diets that support blood sugar metabolism, nutrition for blood sugars, what blood sugar tests are available. Again, test your knowledge. So then we go back to after blood sugars, we always start with blood sugars, and you will learn why we start with blood sugars. Then we move on to stress and adrenals. You can't move on to sex hormones until you've got your stress sorted. And so this is all the lessons about the endocrine, about the thyroid, about serotonin, about aldosterone. And then we've got the kinesiology techniques. So these are things like short leg syndrome, the TMJ, which is a massive kinesiology technique. Homework that you can give your clients, which is things like deep belly breathing. So you get this full toolkit of how to work. After stress and adrenals, we go into sex hormones, we go to the digestive system, the immune system. And what is so beautiful about the journey is that you get this expansion of knowledge as you go through. And then in consolidation, you really learn how to hone it so that you are, the idea of consolidation was to really hone the confidence of a practitioner so that they're going out into clinical practice with that confidence.
So the way that this looks, thank you, that was glorious. So the way that it looks is you turn up at a weekend, and I'm just going to make a note because I want to talk about that. So you turn up at a weekend. So you have access to all of this before the weekend. Foundation is different. You do the weekends first, then you get the information so that you have more of an understanding. But by the time you get to practitioner, you understand how this learning works. So you come up to a weekend, you've had the information. So what Laura and I are doing, answering your questions, we are embedding in this knowledge, we're dealing with anything that comes up that's confusing, you're getting to workshop on each other. So the beauty about training as a kinesiologist is you get your own balances, you get your own fixes all the way through. So you come out of it a completely different person. And we have seen that abundantly with our students, like people going, I feel like an entirely different person. So there are no surprises as you go through this learning. It's beautiful because, like we say, it's layered on and it's really supported. We have an online forum for our practitioners, so we get messages all the time from our practitioners, questions, and we really support that that's done in a community. It's non-Facebook based because a lot of people don't like Facebook, and it's you get the responses directly from Laura and I. There are often conversations between the students, but and I know that our students have actually got a WhatsApp group, because this is not the general chit chat. This is absolutely like, these are my questions, this is the progress, this is what I need support with. And so it's a really supportive tool that you get, the online forum as well. So you turn up at the weekend, we're going through everything, we're reiterating, and then you're doing the workshopping. And in each weekend, there is a sacrosanct 2 hours where you will be working on each other and you become one of your case studies. So for each module, there are 4 case studies to do, but 1 is dealt with in the weekends, which means that you haven't got loads and loads and loads of case studies to do before the next module, which is usually about a month apart. And then at each of those weekends, the other things we do is we have got real life case studies, anonymous case studies that are very specific to that weekend, where you are able to work through real life situations. And so as a group, we're then discussing, so how do you deal with this? Because our absolute mission and vision is that, Laura and I were really, really unwell, and we were seeing practitioners who didn't know what to do with us. And so had I seen me 15 years ago, I might not have gone into early menopause. In fact, I know I wouldn't have gone into early menopause, because I have stopped people going into early menopause. So we wanted people to be able to deal with real life situations. And that is absolutely, what we do with these case studies that are discussed together as a group. So the weekends are very spacious. You're not bombarded with information. You're basically given a sort of an overview. Then we're actually doing the practicals of the techniques, asking questions, and these case studies. So they're just glorious, glorious weekends. And then in consolidation, there is a mock exam and there is a mock clinical assessment in preparation for the exam. So again, no surprises. You've had the quizzes, you've had a mock exam. We'll be talking about it throughout the course. And then the actual exam is done in 2 parts. We have 1 part, the first part of the day, half of the practitioners will be doing their actual clinical assessment. You're all in the same room. This is not a one-on-one situation, which is, I know it feels really intimidating. You have an assessor who's not us, who is actually walking around and making notes, and you'll be told what they're going to assess you on. But it's also really comforting, because this is how you've been workshopping. So you're in that group environment. We provide the case study, the people to come as well. So again, that pressure's taken off you. And then the other half of the people are doing their paper. And that written paper is exactly the same as those quizzes. They're multiple guess, as one of my teachers used to call them, multiple choice. But the way that we have prepared the course, unlike our training where everything was on the exam, it was a pass or fail situation, this isn't, because your marks are taken from your homework, which is done online, your case studies that we have marked, your clinic assessment, and your exam. So those marks are spread across all of them. So you could, if you are not someone who's very good at revising for exams, you could get 0 marks in your exam but still pass. That's why we designed the course the way, and you wouldn't get 0 marks because of the way that the course is structured and the learning is structured. We have done it this way to accommodate every single learning style, every single learning style. So that is what it looks like to train with us. That's obviously for the full-blown course. In terms of the wellness coaching and holding space, it's done online. There isn't the face-to-face exams and those things, but there are the quizzes, there are papers, there are, all the different learning styles. There is homework, there are case studies. I think that's everything we need to say.
I think the only thing I wanted to add is that I did one of the talks for my open day with Nordic lab testing, which offers Dutch testing, and this is something that is more embedded in the functional wellness, because they don't have the kinesiology muscle testing option, and it's something that is taught in consolidation for the functional kinesiologists, because the kinesiology pathway is that we use kinesiology, but we have got to stages with clients where we're like, we've taken you as far as we can with kinesiology. The next step is to do some lab testing into this. And that's why we partner with someone like Nordic Labs, who can really offer comprehensive lab testing. With functional wellness, it's more of a like coaching, wellness coaching option with the lab testing as a support, because there wouldn't be the kinesiology in there. So I just wanted to make that clarity.
Yeah, and the other thing, just carrying on from that, is there comes a point where we aren't able to help anymore, that we've done everything, that we've ticked every box. And it's so important, and this is exactly what I was just talking about with the wonderful Thelma, it's so important and it's so professional, and doctors do it, to be able to say, I don't know, and I need to pass you on, I'm going to refer you on. So we have also created, you know, when to refer on. So in holding space, what are the red flags that says this is not just an emotional coaching situation, this is a mental health situation that needs a mental health professional. We give you all of that, so this is incredibly safe. We give you, you know, when to refer on for things like, if someone's got small intestine bacterial overgrowth and you've done everything that you have got in your toolkit, who do you refer them on to? Because that's quite specialist. Who do you refer people on to if HRT isn't working for them, the medical one, and they need bioidentical hormones, and more than a bioidentical hormone practitioner like myself can offer, the dermal, they need some really strong bioidentical hormones. Who do you refer them on to? The beauty of this, and I still take such joy in doing this in clinic, after all the years, with all my experience, with everything that I can offer, of being able to say to my client, if I can't find a solution for you, I can absolutely refer you on to a practitioner who has that solution. But we will have saved you a lot of money and time, because we will have got all the foundations in place. So it's just the last piece of the jigsaw that needs to go in, and all the research that shows that all of those foundations make the solution work.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say, because I've had clients who have gone down the bioidentical hormone route first, but then the diet piece, the stress piece, the triangle piece, the digestive piece was not in place. Therefore, they had quite a reaction to the bioidenticals.
Yes.
So, and this is something that we really teach in our training, is that this is a step-by-step process. We need to get pillars in place before we can go to the next stage, because if we don't get stress in place, the hormones are never going to get in balance. It's just when you start to understand the science behind that, it's that okay, this is why.
Well, I think the phrase I just used is, all of those things are essentially the scaffolding, but they're not the foundations and they're not the house. So in a lot of cases, in management of chronic conditions, we have to put the foundations in place, and we have to actually build the house before we go anywhere near the scaffolding. And that's exactly what we're teaching people to do. We are immensely proud of this training, and we have now, like I said, we've got a group of students who are just going through to exam, and you know, we take the feedback incredibly seriously, and we have already adapted and changed this course to be incredibly fluid for people's needs. And yeah, we are very passionate that it is the course that is needed right now for the global health crisis. And I'm not talking just about the pandemic, I'm talking about, you know, the chronic fatigues, the awful menopauses, the autoimmunes, it covers all of the IBSs, everything. And we would love to see you on it.
You want to check and see if we've got, no, it just gives me all the fluffies. Can we check Facebook to see if, I have no idea how to do that. Can you see Facebook if there's any questions or?
I can, hold on, let me have a look. Do you want to talk about career pathway?
Good question. Okay. So there are a number of career opportunities off of the back of our training. Some of the foundation training, actually all of the training can be included into an existing clinical practice, or it can be used to set up clinical practice. That is absolutely what Claire and I did and have done for years, and have had a great time doing it. Loved it. Have not got bored of learning about hormones and digestion and immune after all these years. So clinical practice is one. Another option is becoming a mentor. So that is more of the emotional coaching, and we are looking at growing our team because we have more and more coaching opportunities. So this is something that I talk about in my open day talk about training and coaching. And this is a very clear distinction about what coaching is essentially. And I drew this as a diagram many years ago for Claire. I was like, it's taking someone from a shit place to a good place. That is what coaching is. And so there are opportunities, and we are seeing the corporate well-being market exploding at the moment because members of staff are struggling with anxiety, with food issues, with energy, with menopause. And so this wellness piece of getting into corporate businesses is an exciting development in our industry. Another career pathway can be a teacher, which is incredibly rewarding. And it gives a real, we have both had our clinics and we've both had our teaching careers, and there is such a glorious mix of having the two. Any others that you would say? If you want to work in the NHS, then this is not the pathway for you. We're quite clear that if you, the NHS, because we are registered with the CNHC, which is the government association that recognises complementary health, we can be referred from GPs, but it is not, there is not a job title, there's not a job role within the NHS for the kind of things that we do. We are in private practice.
Yeah, we are. We also have, did you say about mentors? So you said about mentors. Yes, job opportunity for mentors. So we are very excited actually as a college, as a business, to have got to the point where we are generating the requirement for mentors, coaches, clinicians, and the corporate aspect, because this is the army and this is how we change the world. And yeah, we would love you to talk to us and to get on board. And even if it's just the dipping your toes into the foundation pieces to just expand your knowledge and your world and your health and the health of your friends and family, because we put a lot of love into it. We had some wonderful comments from the ever so gorgeous Pixie, just saying she can't wait to be involved in the team, and how she loves our manuals. Thank you, Pixie. We love you too. I think that's it. I think that is open day over and out.
Woo, woo, woo! Go Claire, well done.
Thank you everyone for joining in, taking part, and we look forward to hearing your questions.